Hi, welcome to Inventor's Dojo. My name is Henry and I'm an inventor. First and foremost, I would like to welcome you and thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. This video assumes that you've watched the introduction video. If you have not, please do so because it sets the tone for what we're doing here. I will put a link in the description so you can watch it. As promised in the last video, today I will be showing you how my process works in a real product with the product that I'm currently working on. So for me, it started one cold winter night in New Jersey. I've always been a heavy set guy, so I decided that I needed to lose some weight, so I joined the local gym. As I started losing weight and getting stronger, I decided one day that I could lift more than any other day, and I was right, but the night ended with me having a back injury. Now, the best thing to do at that point was to just go home and call it a night, and that's exactly what I did. I went home, parked my car, and just went to sleep. If you've ever lived on the East Coast, you'll know that on any given winter night, you could park your car in a nice, clean, dry street and wake up to your car covered in snow, ice, or both. That's just the way it is. The next morning, I was sore and I was in pain, but I could still walk, so I decided to go to work. Obviously, when I got to my car, it was buried under a mountain of snow, because why not, right? Then I called my friends to see if they could help me, but they were either at work or on their way to work. And then I called a tow truck and they wanted $600. And the cherry on top was that I was gonna have to wait for them for a few hours until they could get to me. So I did the only thing I could do, which was put the car in neutral, get behind the car and try rocking it back and forth until I got out. But I'm injured, I'm in pain, I'm cold, and the car was not going anywhere. Fortunately for me, this kid walked by and he decided that he could help me. After a minute, the car was out and I was ready to get on my way to work. I offered the kid some cash, like $20, but he didn't want to take it. He was just a good kid. Who would have thought, right? As I'm driving to work, I'm thinking to myself of the thing that just happened to me and how to make sure that it never happens to me again. In my opinion, all I needed was a little bit of extra traction under the wheel, but it had to be easily installed because with my injury, I wouldn't be able to get under the car and all that good stuff. Once I got to work, I started doing the research. I had to find a solution for this problem. And what I found was that everything that I found out there required, one, that you be mechanically inclined, and two, you had to be able-bodied to use them. And as an added bonus, you get filthy and wet and dirty in the process. I needed something that would work and it was easy to install. And that's when it hit me. I'm going to have to create my own tool because this shit was gonna get old real quick. Once I gave myself the task of solving this problem, I came to the conclusion that the best way for me to do this was to come up with some sort of device that would be sort of like a crutch that would actually lift the car up off the ground and move it outside of the quagmire that it was stuck in. But then how do I attach it? I could try to use some sort of strap system, but then it would slide every time the tire would move. No, I needed it to be fixed. And then I had my aha moment. I could use the lug nut. Now, if I've ever had a decent idea in my life, this was it. Not only it will stay fixed, but when the tire rotates, the tool would use the car's own momentum to move and lift the car when the tire turned. At the time, I thought, man, that was easy. All I need was a breaker bar and a socket that fits the lug nut and I'd be on my way. But there was this little nagging thing in the back of my head. Every time I ran the process in my mind, when the tire would turn, the socket would come loose when the breaker bar would hit the floor, and everything would come loose and I would either damage the car or hurt somebody, and I really couldn't have that. So I had to keep on going, keep thinking of a way to make sure that this didn't happen. At some point, I started speaking with my brother about it, and he agreed with me that the socket needed to stay stuck to the lug nut, but the more we talked about it, we didn't come up with anything. We just came up empty. And this is what happens. Sometimes you just have to let the idea simmer. It will come to you. In this case, it actually came to my brother. He called me the next day and he said to me, hey, I think I have a solution to your problem. Why don't you put a quick disconnect on the lug nut? Now, this is where I'm going to show you how little I knew at the time. My next question was, what the hell is a quick disconnect? He explained it to me and I knew what it was. I just didn't know what the name of it was and why would I? So fine. My next question is, okay, where do I get such a thing? And he said, I don't know, but you can go figure it out or you can talk to one of my mechanic friends. And that worked. At least I had a starting point. Now, understanding what a quick disconnect is, now I knew that not only would I need a special socket, I would actually need a special lug nut as well. But slowly the picture started getting clearer. Now it's time to make a prototype. But how? I really had no idea, no concept, no inkling about how I would get this done. But I did speak with a few mechanically inclined people and they said one of two things. Either I don't know where you will get such a thing, or two, you're going to have to find a machine shop that will make that for you. Now my next question is, what is a machine shop and where do I find one? I had no idea what a machine shop was. I never needed one. Why would I? But eventually I got it done. Now, if I go through the process of explaining how I got the prototype made, this video will be twice as long. But I'll tell you what, I will explain in detail how I got that prototype done and I'll show it to you on the next video, so stay tuned for that. Now it was time to test. So I found an empty parking lot, put in my new lug nut in my car, put in the socket, and I'm telling you, it felt good, it felt right, it felt strong, it felt solid, it felt right. Now it was time for the truth. I put the car in drive and slowly stepped on the gas. And I started noticing that as I pressed on the gas, the car kept going forward, but along with going forward, it was actually going upwards as well. It was working. Granted, there were some issues, but I will get into those in the next video. Make sure you stay tuned for it. So this is how the idea happened and how I got on the road that I'm currently on. How about you? When was the last time that you were stuck? How long did it take you to get out? Better yet, how much did it cost you? Let me know in the comments. But this is it for today. Please stay tuned for the next video where I will be telling you how I got the prototype made. I will be showing you the prototype and telling you the problems that I had during the test. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and please share this video with someone you think might like it. Thank you so much and have an amazing day. Stopping video. Oh, this is not recording. Ah, you mother. And this is gonna suck if I have to redo this whole